expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, this is Brother Mike. Yes, back on the radio, hardcorechristianity.com. Thank you for your time. Thanks for tuning in today. Today's Bible study. Oh no, more gospel singers. Oh my God, here we go again. Welcome to Filthy Fridays on Hardcore Christianity. Please don't call anybody and tell them the radio program's on today. I normally ask you to do that, but on Fridays, Filthy Fridays, we like to keep stuff in-house, just between the family members, you and me and you, nobody else. Do not call anybody. I'll make a couple of quick announcements and get right to these. Oh no, gospel singers. Hey, this is Brother Mike. I'm the counselor at the House of Healing. 35th year, Maricopa County. On the website, our location, 11th Street and Indian School. We're on 11th Street, just south of Indian School, west of the 51 freeway, down by the VA hospital in the heart of Maricopa County. On the website, we got 3 services every week. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, healing, teaching, and deliverance for every service. Wednesday night, child abuse, healing and teaching service. Friday night, it's my teaching service for my radio listeners. On the website, you can join our YouTube teaching channel. You can join us on our Facebook page. You can sign up for a free seminar. You can make another donation. Hit the PayPal button. Thank God for you. Last year, we had a record number of people donate. We had a record number of money come in. I don't need that much money. I do not take a salary. I work for free. So if you send in 25 or 50 bucks, that helps us out a lot. Gracias. The radio programs are on 24/7, 365 on SoundCloud.com/hardcore-Christianity. Healing and deliverance service along with teaching May 14th and 15th at the Spanish Calvary Chapel. The Spanish Calvary Chapel at 1010 North 95th Avenue in Tolleson. May 14th and 15th, Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. both days. You speak Spanish? Come get healed. You speak English? Come get healed. God bless you. Oh no, here we go. Gospel singers. When I hear the term gospel singer, I cringe, and then I start praying for them because I've had so many people on worship teams, Christian bands, Christian singers. I've had so many of them over the years come to see me for counseling. They are so sick and so infected. If I were to tell you some of the stuff going on with Christian worship leaders and singers, you would fall right out of your car right now. You just pull over, open the door, and fall out on the street. I'm not going to tell you that. On second thought, I am going to tell you. Check this out. Israel Houghton. You ever heard of him? He's a nationally known worship leader, gospel recording artist at the biggest church in the United States. Where's that at? Yeah, it's in Texas. It's Joel Osteen's church. He has over 30,000 people attend his church every Sunday. And every Sunday morning they take an offering, and it's almost $1 million in cash comes in every Sunday at that church. Well, 14 or 15 years ago, Israel was the worship leader at the Dream Center here in Phoenix, in Arizona. He was in Scottsdale. He was at the Scottsdale Dream Center. They got rid of him under hush-hush terms, and a guy named Ricardo Sanchez replaced him. And I was attending the church at the time when Ricardo was there, and he did a fantastic job. He is currently has his own ministry. He travels around, does a really great job. He's a spectacular worship leader. I think Israel kind of trained him. I'm assuming he didn't train him in this area we're going into today. But if you want to get a hold of Ricardo, I think his website is ricardomusic.com or something like that. He does a great job. He used to be at the Dream Center. He replaced Israel when he was over there. But you just see this article in the paper. Again, it's the same thing that I see over and over and over again. If somebody tells you they're on the worship team or they're the worship leader of this church or that church, dude, you better watch yourself. Or they're in a Christian band. If you ever hear the term Christian band, oh boy, hold on to your seat. You wouldn't believe the sin going on with these groups. Here's the article, Houston, Texas. Quote, the longtime senior worship leader for mega church, self-help author and motivational speaker Joel Osteen says that he was not fired after announcing his divorce last month and being photographed this month kissing a woman who's not his wife. Lakewood has classified the arrangement as an indefinite leave. On February 22nd, Houghton, a 5-time Grammy Award gospel singer, known for his songs, quote, Friend of God, quote, Not Forgotten, and, quote, Moving Forward, announced publicly on social media that he and his wife had divorced. It is with a collective heavy heart, he says, that we announce that after over 20 years of marriage and a long separation, Melissa and I are officially divorced, unquote. Without providing these details, Houghton explained that he had sinned in his marriage and was unable to fully restore their marriage. Several years ago, he said, I failed and sinned in my marriage. Though this is not new to many, although this is new to many, it is not new to us, as we've been working through this for over 5 years, he said. Although we tried, the challenges in our relationship have proven too much to overcome. And then he apologized for the hurt that he had caused everybody. Quote, although I'm sincerely sorry and forgiven, I soberly realize that I will live with the consequences of my failings for the rest of my life. As this has become a public matter, I want to apologize to my many fans who supported my ministry through the years. I'm sorry for the many who will be hurt to learn of my personal failure. I regret any pain or disappointment this news may have caused you. Now, as an aside, as a counselor who counsels a lot of people that are in these worship bands and Christian music and so on, that was fantastic. That was not a disclaimer. That was an apology. That's telling me he's on the right road. So we've got to give him some props for that. I hope it's legitimate, and I say the word hope because I've been exposed to so many of these cases. I approach everything with cautious optimism, as my granddad used to say. The article goes on to say, earlier this month, Houghton, age 44, was spotted in Tulum, Mexico, with a woman's not his wife. Actress Adrienne Bailon, age 32, donned a scantily clad bikini as she and Houghton vacationed together on the beach and were photographed embracing and kissing in the water. Bailon is the former girlfriend of Rob Kardashian and had been engaged to Lenny Santiago until ending their relationship last September. Houghton met Bailon 3 years ago while working on the film I'm in Love with a Church Girl, which he produced. And he'd been at the Joel Osteen's church 15 years ago. He was at the Dream Center in Scottsdale. And of course, they never say you're fired. And because they don't, obviously they're trying to give the person a break. But what it amounts to is they get rid of them. But let me explain how this thing works, because I'm an expert in this field, because as a counselor, Christian counselor, I see Christianity from the inside out. Everybody else sees it from the outside in. And so I actually know what's going on, not because I think I do, but because I know I do. So there's a difference between my knowledge and 98% of other Christians. What's happening here is a multi-layered problem with people that are in the Christian worship business. Let me use that broad category. Let me use that generic term. Sorry about that. The problem is, here's how it works. God calls a person into the worship ministry, and it's a legitimate call, like this Israel guy. It's a legitimate call. He's called into the ministry, and then God blesses them with skills and abilities, singing, playing, and so on. And they're really good at what they do. For example, this Houghton guy was superb. He was excellent at what he did. He was an award-winning gospel musician and worship leader. He's made a fortune financially in the Christian business, okay? So he has legitimate skills and was legitimately called by God. But what the devil then does, he moves in and explains to the person, subtly over a long period of time, how wonderful they are. He starts giving them props. And then he starts having other people prop him or her. And the other people come to the person and tell them, hey, you're fantastic. You're great. You're wonderful. Oh, you're unbelievably beautiful. Man, you are the greatest thing since sliced bread. You're the greatest thing walking. Oh, my God, you've got skills coming out of your ears. You're great, great, great. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And what happens if, over a period of time, over years, the person starts to drink their own Kool-Aid? They start to actually think there's something special. Then the demons send them relationship people that they're attracted to, who see the person like a god in a way. And then they start having affairs. And then they start partying. And then they start drinking and using drugs. And they start compromising their Christianity. And you would not believe if I told you what percentage of these Christian worship leaders and Christian bands and Christian rock groups are living in fornication and sinning. You literally wouldn't believe it. And a lot of it's hidden sin if it's a big church like this. See, they kept this thing under wraps until those pictures came out, and then the thing was exposed, and then it had to be dealt with. Otherwise, they were going to kind of shift this thing under the carpet and get rid of it. But the devil doesn't work like that. Once he builds up your ministry, he sends you loving supporters. He sends you money. He sends you greatness. He sends you glory. And once he builds you up, you owe him. You owe him. You got to pay him back. So then he trashes you and crashes you to the ground because you've got integrity issues, you've got lust issues, and you picked up unclean spirits of lust years ago when you first got saved. You picked them up during your sinful life, and when you got saved, you never went through deliverance. So these lust demons went dormant to spring back later to set you up for a crushing fall. Say hello to Jim Baker. Say hello to Jimmy Swaggart. Say hello to Roberts Lairdon. Say hello to a long line of ministers, male and female, who crashed because of this system. They were built up by the devil, financed by Satan, and crushed by him later. If you have uncontrollable lusts, like this guy here, Israel, now he's dating a lust-filled woman from Hollywood. You know he's sleeping with her and committing adultery. That's obvious. If you have these lust demons and you can't get healed and they're driving you nuts and you don't want to sin and you want to be delivered, 602-636-5800 in total confidence and complete confidentiality. Come get healed.
The views expressed on the preceding program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program has been sponsored by Michael W. Smith.